Thinkers, gamers, and traders, welcome to JBeanTV, the prediction arena, where foresight meets fire. Let's dive in.
Welcome back, predictors. It's night 2 of challenge number 11, and the competition is heating up. Last night, Doug walked us through supply and demand zones, showing how to read volume inside the candle, and the response from you all was incredible. Tonight, we're taking that precision one step further with something every top predictor must master: Wick percentages, powered by the enhanced indicator. If you've ever wondered why market taps certain levels before reversing, or how tiny candle wicks can reveal massive moves before they happen, tonight's your night to connect the dots. He's going to break down how to interpret Wick percentages, strength on both sides of the candle. He's going to spot rejection zones versus genuine continuation. And he's going to combine Wick data with last night's supply-demand lessons for an even sharper prediction setup. This is where technical understanding turns into prediction power, and where the leaderboard starts to separate the quick from the consistent. So grab your charts, check your previous predictions, and get ready to light up your next one, because challenge number 11, night number 2, starts right now. Hey, Doug, how are you?
I'm great, Big Kaz. How are you?
I'm excited for tonight's lesson.
Tonight's going to be insane.
Very excited. I love digging into these custom indicators that you've built. And I just want to remind our viewers and our predictors on the panel, we get these indicators for free right now because we are playing this game. And I just think that's phenomenal. Everybody on TradingView, if they come in and play this game and get themselves an NFT, they're going to have access to them too. That's incredible, Doug. What a gift.
Yeah. And they're just getting better, because I started off, and a lot of the indicators that I started with are going to be indicators that will be absolutely free on TradingView to kind of, introduce people to us. But we're now really getting into the professional level of indicators, and I mean serious professional level indicators. So I'm excited about where we're at. What I'm really excited about is I'm finally getting to develop stuff that I love.
Yes.
And fully empowered and enjoying every minute of it. I got to be honest, I get tired of this seat that I'm sitting in. I was started at 4 o'clock this morning, and I'm still in the same seat. So
Ugh.
it's been a very long day, but it has been very rewarding. But before we get into the indicators, Big Kaz, and before we get into dialing into the questions that were submitted for tonight, I think we got to talk to the predictors a little bit and figure out, what they were thinking and where they were going, because we have a number of predictors that look like they were predicting more up than what the market. Well, the market did go up, but ended up down. So
And then it shot right back down, didn't it?
it did.
Yeah, it did. I mean, I'm looking at it now. We're down in the 107s, which, if you know me well, I'm getting excited. We're getting closer to 6,000 again. But
Yeah. Every tick is a little closer for you, isn't it?
a little close. I'm hoping for a quick drop, a quick buy back up to 122. But yeah, I don't know. It has been strange this month.
Yeah, at this rate, Big Kaz, it may be your next lifetime.
Right, I think so too. I think when we first started, we're on challenge number 11. If we go back to challenge number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we channeled and channeled and channeled and channeled. And I feel like I really was getting it. Like I was seeing, if we just stay in a constant channel, I think we all, I
You can
think
nail it, huh?
I think it's a lot easier than when it just dumps out of nowhere. Sure.
Yeah, I hear that. So,
Yeah, I
well,
want
let's talk to a couple of people and see who wants to come up, because I'm looking at some of the predictions, and we were predicting, some higher moves or higher closes. It's really the close. I think kind of the ranges, um, I think we're okay. I'm going to stop sharing for a second because I want to peek at something and see.
Maybe we should pull up who predicted the highest high. See what the thought was. I mean, there's no shame here, right? We're all learning.
Beanie of Truth was pretty right on. Lovejoy was pretty right on for our high. And then everybody else was quite a bit off, whether they were too low or let's see here. Yeah, it looks like most everybody was too low. So Beanie of Truth closest, and then Lovejoy was very good also. So both of them were predicting the high really well. And I'd like to kind of know what they were targeting because I'm interested to see if they followed what we talked about over the last couple of nights or if they were using some other system or some other thought.
All right. Would one of you like to go ahead and unmute if you would like to chime in?
Well, I thought it was going to go a little higher because I actually used one of the indicator. Well, I used several indicators, but I really like the JB and CP&R because it had, and I don't necessarily know this meant until I was able to hover over it and find out the three white soldiers beforehand. So you had those three candles moving up, which kind of indicating, upward momentum. So I was looking at that and thinking, well, um, and then also too, there was some social sentiment that kind of made me think that we were still going to go maybe one more candle higher and then maybe go sideways for a bit, but
Uh-huh.
I was
And
wrong.
and and how did you pick your high number? Did you
Um,
were you
well, I mean,
looking at
obviously I was, looking at all the different kind of indicators, and then to be honest with you, I'm looking back and trying to, I think,
trying to repiece it?
yeah, trying to repiece it and everything. I
Well,
think it was
what
just,
I'd like about, and let me pause the screen again because I want to get your number without showing the leaderboard.
I
Your
was
high,
112.9.
right?
Do what?
Your high was 112,900.
Correct.
Okay. And put this on 112,900 real quick. So interesting. I mean, you're picking the bottom of this candle that came back. There was a lot of trade there. Um, I can see, this one here. The the thing that we did is that we got above all of this volume here. We can see all of this. We got above that, which is really, really, surprising. And we got above this high volume, which really tells us that the candle should go down. Okay, and ultimately it did. But to me, I'm surprised that it went up as much as it did, but it did go to some of the higher volumes. So you and Beanie both picked a higher number, and both of you were the closest to this, and very, very well done. Everybody else was down much lower in this volume range. I think a lot of people were even down in the 109s and stuff. So um, I think that was very good. And we're going to look at a lot of this and see how we could potentially tell that this was going to happen again. And I think to Bitkaz's comment, after this massive, trader quake, I won't call it an earthquake, but it definitely was a trader quake. The market has been very volatile, very back and forth, and very inconsistent. So it by no means has settled down, but still readable. So thank you for sharing that. I think that was a definite good prediction. So anybody else? Let's look at somebody that picked a lower number and tell me what you were thinking, And I think the lower numbers were probably the ones that were solid in terms of, where some of the volume barriers are. I have some down around, let's see, what is my low? Well, a lot of you guys are in the 112s, 112, 112.3. Let's see,
Looks like
112.9.
most of them are in the 111s, most of the
Yeah.
highs.
Yeah, I see a lot of 111s. So let's kind of look at that, whether you guys want to come up or not. We can still, let me kind of see the average of that range. Yeah, about 111, 500 or so.
I had 112.489 for a high.
Okay, we'll look at that. 112.49, 049,
480.
112.489.
112.489. Just below Lovejoy there. So very good. Again, and I think that's just right at the top of those volume barriers. Very good prediction. I think the 111, 111, 900, right in the center of all the volume. Real decent projection on that one also. I don't see anything wrong with it. Market decided to go a little bit higher. The question is there a way for us to tell that? And if so, great. If not, that's just the way the market moves, and that's okay. Okay. But I keep showing this volume one, and it's just a critical indicator.
Need to make sure that our AI understands the indicator, and I am not confident that my AI understands the indicator.
Okay, well that's a good one. So the question was, is that your AI may or may not understand the indicator. Now in Discord, there's a detail on the two new indicators, and there's actually a section in here for your AI specifically to copy that when you're giving the AI the numbers, also give them this piece of information so they know what to do with it. Same here, you got both. You got the human interpretation and you have a command set here for your AI. Okay, that should help your AI understand it a little bit better, and we'll continue to work on that, improve them, maybe to really make sure your AI's got it down. But I heard that the other night when you guys said that, and I thought, okay, well, let's build a specific one that really tells AI what the numbers mean and what to do with it. That kind of goes beyond, what the humans need to know. But you guys can use the numbers, begin to understand the numbers, but you got to be sure when you give your AI the numbers that it knows what to do with it, and that's very valid. So, very good point. Thank you. All right, one of the things also that I built, and there's going to be another document page inside Discord, and it's going to be for PDFs, okay? I created a PDF for 3 of these indicators that we're going to be talking about, but the Wick Percentages, and it's kind of like a cheat sheet for you, and it tells you exactly, what each of the potential outcomes of the Wick indicator can actually mean to you, and it gives you what the score means, what the numbers mean. It really breaks it down in a very concise format. Okay, and the other 2 indicators that are much more advanced, I've done both of those 2, and I'll be talking about that tonight a little bit. But there'll be a new section inside Discord where you can go find PDFs that kind of are cheat sheets for you. They don't go in depth into the indicator, but they go into the specifics of that indicator to help you understand that indicator. And this is another thing that you could copy and give your AI, because this would help your AI also. Okay. So we'll have that for you. I've just got to build that area. Let me go through the question. Okay, question 1 is, what does a 40% wick label really tell me about the market rejection or strength? There's 2 things that you have to look at, and I'm always going to be coming back to this inner bar volume. One, you're looking at the tags. Okay, these tags are very important, and it's telling you that it tells you exactly strong sell, right? And if I can match that up with the volume in the wick like I can here, then it's very important. The one behind this, if I scroll, is also a strong sell, but the volume is down low in the body. And it actually is interpreting it as potentially a stronger sell, 65%, right? And that's okay. That's just the way the indicator analyzes, because it's not designed to see the volume. It's really designed to understand the wick and what's going on here. So you have to look at what this is saying and then interpret the volume, bring the volume into it. I'll probably, when I redo this indicator, and I'll probably redo it someday, I will add this volume, this inner bar volume, into its knowledge base, so then it will know how to interpret this, okay? And I'm doing that on a lot of indicators where I bring this indicator into it to help it have that deeper knowledge. So it's not just, like everybody else, just looking at, oh, I got a big wick. Okay, it's going to go down. Yeah, it's the beginning of the setup. Definitely the beginning of the setup. And that's telling me that. Okay. But it's not the whole story. And this isn't even the whole story. And I'm going to get into that in a little bit, because the story is very deep. It has a lot of pieces to it. But this is definitely a critical element to it. So, yep, strong sell, setting up. Oh, another sell, wick in the top. Okay, next move, my projection tomorrow probably needs to be down. If I'm looking at this one, I'm not going to project a huge up, right? Against this wick, against this sell. I see the volume in the bottom. And the key here, guys, and the big difference, and today was one of those days that it broke the rule, that it really pushed through, but it came back. When this candle opens, you look at the open, and look up here at the numbers, guys, the open. The open was 123,426 on this candle. The close of this candle, the close was 123,426, the exact same number, straight across. There was no gap in this. Sometimes we have little gaps up or down, but it's straight across. So we know that this is going to open right here. And for it to go down, it's got to get through this volume. Okay, sometimes it'll do that. But what it really likes is when the volume is above. Okay, now this one closed at, the close is 124,628. And this open was 124,628 straight across, and the volume is above the open. So this is the perfect setup to know that the next candle is probably going to go down. Now my indicator's telling me that. It told me that here, but the volume wasn't right. It told me that here, and the volume is looking better, has a little bit of volume, a little high volume to get through, but it has this really barrier here also. You look, my high went right to it. Okay, I got a strong sell. My wick high went right to the volume, and the market came down. So these are telling us what, based on the indicator wicks, based on what it sees only in the wick, only this, what it thinks it means, what it thinks it happens. You have another layer by adding this layer in and trying to understand it. So that's what that means. The next question is, how do I know if a red strong sell or a green strong buy label is reliable enough for my prediction? What I just said answers that question also. Based on this, if I look at where the volume is, it begins to tell me that this is probably more accurate than this one was, even though this says it was stronger. It tells me where the volume is. So I know what to go off of based on the indicator, and then based on where volume is, it tells me that I have to have something to trust. Now, it's not always going to be right. I have to have something to trust. Here, I have volume, okay, here in the bottom, kind of in the bottom range. I don't have any wick, really. I've got this one here. It's not a big major wick. And I'm opening, I'm closed here and I'm opening right in that volume. So we're going to have something else that might help us understand that this is going to happen. And we'll see if we do. Not always, but I think we're getting closer to having things that will tell us that. All right, let me do one more here. Do some candles show colored wick labels while others don't? Oh, absolutely. And it's based on, a percentage of the body, and not all these numbers are equal, guys. And let me show you why. This has a very small body, but the wick is 56% of it, right? It's a doji. It's like a spinner. It's not much price action there. There might be a whole lot of volume, and then that would make it different, but it doesn't have a lot. When we have a bigger body, this is 37% of the overall, right? So there's more, actually a smaller number, but more wick than this one here. So the wick percentages are important, but this is designed to point out when things need to be watched, okay? These are just good data points, and we'll see if there's ways to use those. But these are the critical things for you to be watching. And we can look, strong support, we go up. Rejection, we go down. And it's reading volume somewhat. Now this says a sell signal, and it was wrong at that point. There's other things that might help us understand that. Same here, okay? Not always accurate. And if we turn on the volume, right? The volume is in the bottom, okay? And it says a sell signal. Sorry, no. Based on the wick, yes. Based on the volume, no. Okay, if the volume was all the way up here in the top and I got this, then bam, yes, good. Okay, so the combination of these two things are critical together to tell the whole story about what's going on with those indicators, okay? I'm gonna go another level here. We have support here, and I can see the volume is in the bottom of the candle. We have a candle here that has a lot of volume in it. This actually closed. It's a down red candle, doji here, but it actually closed at the top part of that volume. What else can I know? So I'm going to go through a very, very sophisticated indicator, and it has two parts to it now. The first time you guys saw this, it only had a very basic advanced part. This thing's a beast. It's very, very advanced. And I have a PDF that goes through every one of these and describes what you should be seeing, what's the understanding of it, and how to use it. Let's look at this, okay? I'm going to start on this candle here, and I want to look at what might be my next day prediction, whether up or down or sideways. We know it goes up here. But number of basic things is I see an up candle. I don't see any volume in the top. I see volume in the bottom. What else can I tell about this? Well, if I look over here, okay, I'm going to start here. Let's start here. Again, this is This is a master indicator with a companion indicator. It's two indicators that I built, and this one is attached to this one. It's kind of like a master slave, or the key indicator and the supporting indicator or companion indicator. They go together, and they both have data window fields that are separate, and they're doing different things. I'm not going to go heavy into them tonight, but I'm going to go through them a little bit. We see this Wick support, okay? It tells us that it's a score of 56 out of 100, and we see the volume in the bottom. Okay, it's going to potentially go up. It's on a base. All right. So this one here, though, tells us, and I'm going to take a screenshot of this so I can begin to dissect this. Just a couple of little things. The major things that you can be aware of early on, okay? When I look at this indicator, the first thing that I want to focus on is here, these three, okay? And here, these two, okay? Those are the ones that tell me and that I have a long, okay? Confidence bar is 101, and this PDF that I have for you here breaks that down for you. And this PDF follows these in order, okay? Starts at the BBS histogram, okay? And then it goes to the open interest and then to the long. So that's what we're looking at here. So we look at, the confidence level. So 80 to 100 is strong confidence. It's 101. The short was negative 74. The delta is positive. So there's more positive confidence in contracts. Okay. This isn't just reading basic volume. This is reading actual contracts. So when I look at the market and I look at actual committed money and contracts, this is positive, okay? When I look at the long confidence versus the short confidence, we're very positive. Now, these numbers are critical in two ways. One, they can show buyers or sellers getting trapped at certain places. And again, our volume indicator helps with that, okay? But when we're looking at a candle taking off, right, these numbers tell us how strong that move is, and we tie that into the rest of our knowledge about the volume being in the bottom. The next one's going up, okay? And we can see that, all right? When I go to the next one, I got the volume in the top, okay? And I'm going to take a screenshot of this, and then I'm going to go look at the bottom portion of this indicator for you guys. But let's look at what everybody else sees, okay? This is just, to me, this is just becoming magic, right? It's amazing what we're doing. What everybody sees before that little red candle happens, and all this rest happens up here, everybody sees this up move. They go, oh my gosh, okay, we got an up move. We're going on up. This is what everybody sees. But there's so much to the story inside these candles that nobody has access to. You guys now have access to it at really a professional level pieces of software that hedge funds and institutional traders would use. This is really the insight that people need to have. Okay, so I'm going to turn this back on and this back on. And now I have it. Now look at this indicator. I'm going to take a screenshot of our text over here. And we're going to look at that and see what the real story is, right? Not just what we just see as a nice big green candle, But what's the real story? Well, look at this. In this green candle, you saw me hover over it, the long confidence bar is 31. The short, the contracts, is negative 78. A signal delta of negative 23. Now, everybody else is just going to think, oh man, I'm going to predict 117 as my close and my high and all of this. But this is telling you no way. It's also telling you the long down here, when you look at the, telling you down here, look at this. Long confidence, 15. Short confidence, 39. The signal delta is a negative 23. When we peel back the onion and look inside, now we can't, it doesn't do that every time, but when it does, it's like a piece of gold given to us that says, hey, we have to be either very conservative with our next projection and at least understand that we're up against actual real contracts, people putting real leveraged money into the market. And it's not saying that this green candle is just going to continue. Okay. And I talked about traps and stuff, and I'll get into that in the next lesson where we can actually see where we think that it's based on this information, it should go down, right? But see, we added the layer to this information that the ones that are doing the contracts don't have either. I built this where it's actually showing where the majority of the contracts are taking place. Okay, so yeah, this said down, but look at all the buy contracts are heavy down here. Sell contracts are up here. When you, and I'll just do a basic, when you think of who you're going to trap, buyers are trying to trap sellers because that's how they make money. Sellers are trying to trap buyers. That's how they make money, shorts and long. Whoever is below, or if the market is going to go up, these guys aren't trapped. The market closed here and opened here. These guys aren't trapped. These are the guys that are potentially going to get trapped. These are the sellers. They're going to lose money. And I know Trader Lady's hearing this and she's going, oh my gosh, But this paints a picture where I can see who is potentially going to get trapped and who is setting up that potential trap, okay? So as we go through these advanced indicators, the bottom part, okay, again, we have on the bottom part here, these scores. And these tell you, how free the market is potentially going to move. It will tell your AI when you feed your AI this data, because there's a section that'll be in this for your AI to understand all this. But it tells you how easily something's going to move up. And when we look at this very first indicator, and I haven't looked at this on this one yet, but I look at this, okay, I got a score of 49, okay, and reversal possibility. Look at this one here when I hover over it. Reversal possibility is only a 9 out of 100. There's no chance of that. Reversal possibility here, okay, is a 10. Didn't totally reverse, but still it came down. And it's showing a little different friction and stuff. But these began to trade away. So even with this coming down, volume here, we can see this. It wasn't setting up a true reversal, right? Here, reversal possibility is a 39, okay? Reversal possibility here, 13, it's already starting down. It's not really got the chance to really go up and reverse. We see the volume in the bottom. So once you start putting the scores together, where volume is, you can then begin to lay out the potential direction for tomorrow and the possibility of the range for tomorrow. Okay. I'll go into these indicators in a lot more detail as time goes on, because this to me is beginning to develop the roadmap that is going to guide not just your predictions, it's going to guide your trading, and it's going to help know that, this is not the place to buy. We're beginning to set up the reversal to the down. And it's not the place to cost average. And this may not be the place to cost average, but it'll begin to tell us those numbers, and it'll begin to help us clearly outline our trades and our predictions. Okay. We're going to go into the leaderboard. All right, Big Kaz, here we go.
All
Are you
right, I'm
ready?
excited. I'm excited to see how did we do.
All right, let me share my screen again.
Who will tonight's winner be?
All right. Based on our prediction, Bitcoin Magnet takes our win. Lovejoy, Beanie of Truth, Par Excellent, Icy are our top 5. And again, a lot of numbers are off, guys. Some, the low here for Bitcoin Magnet was really good. The high for Lovejoy and Beanie of Truth were really good here. But I think we need to really pay attention to those volumes, because I'm seeing some numbers that are off. And I think, Big Kaz, you talked about this a little bit at the beginning of the call, that this is a little bit more difficult than it was the first few weeks that we
Yeah,
were predicting in the channel.
yes, it's a little bit simpler to stay inside the channel.
Well, the
But
good
with
news is we channel more than we don't.
Well,
So
this is true. This is true. But with the tools that you're giving, I must admit, I'm number 9 on that list, and I haven't been using all of the indicators. In fact, I got I was only using one of the indicators. So I can't wait to see if I can further refine my own predictions with using, more of the indicators and really honing in on what you've been giving to us and using those resources. What amazing tools we have.
yeah, and I think you got to start picking which ones you think is most valuable. One, the volume, the inside candle volume, you guys got to use that. That's that's
Yeah.
that's no doubt. The new one that I'm developing that will be in your hands probably this weekend, the one I showed you guys tonight, um, that's a must use. So then you can add things on top of that. I'm developing an AI one that will do AI social sentiment. I showed that to Rusty today. So there'll be tools, maybe the earlier tools that I did will be ones that I give out in TradingView for free to people to watch what we do. But these newer, more advanced ones, those are the ones you're going to want to hone in on, because those are the ones that have the data that really show what the market's doing, and it it's not something that other people have. It's a step way above. So congratulations to Bitcoin Magnet, to Lovejoy, to Beanie of Truth, Par Excellent, and Icy, our top 5. Extremely well done.
Nicely done. Nicely done. Well, what a powerful night of learning here at JBeanTV. We started out by checking in with our predictors, hearing firsthand how each of you approached your predictions and the methods you're using and how confidence is building week by week. It's amazing to see how many different styles and strategies are coming together on this leaderboard. Then Doug took things to a whole new level with his training on Wick percentages using the enhanced indicator. He broke down what those percentages really represent, showing how much data and sophistication are built into the custom tools he's shared with us here on the JBeanTV prediction game. That clarity is the why behind each move. It's exactly what separates surface level guessing from true predictive understanding. And of course, we wrapped up the night by checking out the leaderboard and celebrating tonight's top predictor, Bitcoin Magnet. Every correct call, every improved entry, and every lesson learned tonight pushes this community forward. So congratulations to our winner and to everyone sharpening their prediction game, one candle at a time. We'll see you back here tomorrow night for night 3 of the challenge, where we keep building skill, confidence, and that JBean momentum. Until then, stay focused, stay curious, and keep predicting with purpose. Good night, everyone.
That's a wrap from JBeanTV and the Prediction Arena. Keep predicting, keep climbing, and I'll see you next time.
You can't join without your OmniBean NFT. It's your pass to predict, compete, and earn rewards. Grab yours now at prediction-nfts.jbeantv.com and join the next live show.